It's Jen Savella coming at you with some more tools that you can use for virtual learning. Today I'm going to tell you about Padlet. So I already have a Padlet account, so this is what's pulled up. You'll type in Padlet, Padlet.com, and you can see it right here, Padlet. And it's a really cool tool to use for collaboration either in the classroom or through virtual learning. So for those of you who do things like Socratic seminars or interactive things, group work, things like that, this is a great way to do that. So what you're going to do is you are going to sign up and it'll go through Google. I do not believe it goes through Clever. I talked about that in one of the other videos that I made. But basically you'll sign in, and once you sign in, it is going to bring you to your page. Now, the thing about it is that with the limited version of Padlet, you only get to make 4 Padlets. I think 3 for free, and then you have to start paying for them. So keep that in mind when you are using them. You might want to do it for classes. You might want to do like different classes or things like that. So you can see right here, these are the ones that I've made. And I just wanted to show you that if I go to make a Padlet, there are all these different types of Padlets that are already set up, that are templates that are set up. The ones I use the most frequently are the wall, stream, and shelf. I do have an example of a grid. Timeline is great if you're studying history. Maps is a great idea if you're studying geography. Back channel is a lot like text messaging, so it can get really small, or Reddit. So I don't use it a lot. The wall can get a little bit messy, so I basically use Stream, which looks a lot like Classroom, or I use Shelf. So let me show you what I've done here. Okay, so this is my demo. I did 3 demos for you: the stream, the wall, and the grid. Oh, and a shelf. So my shelf, what I did is I pulled it up, and what I did to make it is I actually went here, make a Padlet. I decided that I wanted to do a shelf, select. Okay, so what it does is it pulls this up, and it gives you a title already. So you'll probably want to change that to something like "To Go Where No One Has Gone Before," made with joy, let's say. You can choose an icon, and it has all of these different things. You can use different ones that you want. So you can do that, and then you go back, and then you'll have the copy of the links. You can put it on a clipboard, and you can put it to Google Classroom if you want. You can change the wallpaper, which means you can change it by solid color. You can change it to pictures. You can make it look like a blackboard. You can do whatever you want, really. So you can even add your own. So if you want to put up your own pictures, you can do that. So I'm going to go with this, old school blackboard. And then the color scheme basically just changes if you want lighter or darker colors. Your font, you can choose what kind of font you want, or how big or how small it is. And you can see up here, it'll show you what that font looks like if you want to see what it looks like. So you would have to look up here. Okay. Attribution, display, author. I like to put this one on because what that does is it makes sure that anybody who uses it and makes a comment, their name appears. So if their name appears, then what ends up happening is I can see who actually put in a comment. So the newest position, do you want the last thing that was posted to show first, or do you want the first thing you posted to show, so that you have to scroll all the way down to get to the bottom? It's completely up to you. It's totally user preference. I prefer last because I like to see the last thing that was there. Comments, depending on what you want to use your shelf for, you want to use your Padlet for, you can either put on comments, which will allow students or anyone who has access to your Padlet to make comments of any kind, ask questions, anything like that. The restrictions here would be you can choose what you want. You can have no restrictions, or they can't have any reactions, or they can have likes or votes or stars. You can give it a grade. I usually just put none because I think it's just easier and it's streamlined and is a little bit more easy to read. Okay, so this is one of the things that a lot of different people who've used Padlet will have questions about, and it's this, requiring approval. If you click require approval, what that will do is you as the administrator who owns the Padlet, it will come up to you and it'll say it will not publish to the internet, so nobody can see it except for you. So you look at it and then you look, make sure it's appropriate or whatever it is you're doing, and then you hit yes, can publish. If you're doing something that's a bigger project and the whole project is being posted on here, then that's a great thing to do. But if you're just doing comments and answers, it's really hard to do that. You would have to have your Padlet up all the time to make sure. So usually I don't use the require for approval, but I do use the filter for profanity because it will replace bad words. So now I'm ready. I click next and it says all set. So I'm ready to start posting. So what the shelf looks like is it's going to give me several boxes. So here I might have rules and expectations. Okay, and then my next column, I might have assignments due today. And then here I might have questions and concerns. Okay, and I can make all these different columns like that. So what I have done here for me, myself, and I know I'm so clever. What I've done is these are the different things I'm working on in class. Whatever you want your first title or your shelf to be, like comments. So I wrote, when someone has a question, they can post it here, and then they can comment underneath it. So now I can see that I commented what I said. Okay, and then okay, but if they have another question, they can post it here. For English, perhaps, I put question marks about questions. Can anything be a verb? No, many words can be changed by adding suffixes on the end, but it's more likely to happen making a verb an adjective, adverb, or verb. Conversate, is this a verb? It sounds like it. So then I can comment on those things if I want to. So basically, I can make all these columns for the different areas that I'm studying in class. So if you're doing geography or you're doing, exponents, or you're doing quadratic equations, or you're doing something where you're studying vocabulary, you can divide that up however you want. So when I go to actually use this in my class, I will actually change these to like rules and then questions, and then I'll have reading, speaking and listening, writing, grammar, and things like that. So they have the exact references they need. Another one you can do is if you use the wall. One of the things I like to use, the stream is my other favorite. So if you click on stream, this is what mine comes up like. Basically, it streams, it goes from the latest to the first, or however you have it set up. So I have a start to a new year. This will be interesting and difficult to navigate for all of us, but if we work together, we can get through it. And then I say if I want to comment on what person on this person posted, I just write it here. So like I would add a comment, and then I can type in add a comment. Okay, and then that comment will appear with my name, and then if I want to, I can go back and I can grade who's commented on something else. So this would work really well for a Socratic seminar, or questions that you might have if you're doing a review for students. You could put different review questions you want students to answer, and then a lot of times what I will do is I will ask them to answer questions, and then not only do they have to answer the questions, but they have to respond to somebody else's response. So you can also just add a new idea by pushing this pink button, and it'll open up a new thing for you to put there. If you decide you don't want to, you can click off. So that's what I use the stream for. And the last is, let's see, what was the last one I did? I did the wall. Okay, so I did the wall. I did this as an assignment several years ago. And so what I did is I posted a bunch of memes on this particular Padlet. And what I wanted to do is I wanted my students to use nonverbal skills and by looking at facial expressions and things like that. And I wanted students to come up with their own captions for the memes. So what they did is they would, I have some of them here, like this one, this Jackie Chan one. It says, sitting in calculus. So if you know what a meme is, it's basically these goofy photos, and then they come up with captions. It was a way for me to explain to them, okay, looking at how someone communicates, a lot of what someone communicates, actually most of it, is going to come from nonverbals. And so it was a way for me to really get them to kind of creatively work together and kind of have some fun as well. The other thing that I've done with this same exact thing is I haven't used this exact same wall, but I have used one that's similar where I have these memes up, and then they also have a list of my rules, and then they use the rules from the syllabus, and then they apply the rules from the syllabus to these particular memes, however they feel, deemed worthy. Like one of them says, I think one is asks about or talks about me tapping things, people tapping on things. This right here, this guy from 300. One of the I put this on here because one of my students put it, says no tapping or repetitive noises. That was one of my rules, and I hate it when people make repetitive noises. I found out I have misophonia, which actually makes sense why I don't like those noises. So anyway, that's another way that you can use Padlet. The last thing I wanted to show you was the grid. And basically this just shows up like boxes, and this is just my actual syllabus that I used from 2 or 3 years ago. I just gave them this as a link, and they basically could look up all of the different work or questions or basic rules I wanted them to follow. And then if they had comments, they could add comments, and then I could answer the questions. It was a really good way to get through the syllabus in a fast way, especially with seniors who've been through it a lot. So you can use this for lots of different things. Mostly it's for collaboration. There are a lot of other really cool things you can do with it. You can look up galleries and use up other people's things. You can include so many things, and kids can post anything to it pretty much. They can post projects and YouTube videos and all sorts of things. So it is really a really useful tool. And there's a lot of things to it. This is just a really, really basic idea of how you can use Padlet. If you have more questions, let me know, and I will let you know what I know.